Hi, this is Dr. Sandy Queen with Queen Homeschool Supplies, and today I'm going to do a flip through video of the very first book in our Discovering Nature and Science series, and that book is called Come and See. This is a book for very young children who are not yet reading independently, so anywhere from preschool up through actually about second grade. Maybe they can read a little bit, but they are not reading fluently enough to use the older books in this series, which are written directly to the student and assumes that they are able to read. So as you'll see, the activities in this particular book are either hands-on activities, always using items from around the house, or they would be activities more like a day of reading or a day of fun facts that you'll read and discuss together, or some drawing or some coloring, okay? Each of the books in our Discovering Nature and Science series uses a living book as the base of the subject material for that volume, and each volume lasts for a full year. The living book is actually integrated into the book, as I'm going to show you as we do the flip through here. So you don't need to buy it separately. All right, so Come and See was written by Mary E. Woodis, and the curriculum portion was written by Casey Queen. And so that's what I'm going to show you today, is how this book is set up and how it works for young children. Now, when you open this book up, these are nice thick books. You're going to see at the beginning how to use this curriculum, and this is included in each of the books in this series for the parent, talking about the sorts of things that you're going to see in this volume and how it's set up. Basically, you're going to see each lesson in this particular series lasts for a week. Every Monday, they're going to start out with a story that you read. At this level, you're going to read the story as a read aloud to the child, because they're usually not reading independently if they're using this very first book in the series. Okay, so this particular volume, and you're going to see each of the volumes has very colorful covers, front and back, and everything you see on the front and back cover is representative of what's taught in this book. So this particular volume is teaching about weather and about nature elements like butterflies and frogs and toads and birds, mud, trees, snowstorms, little animals that you'll see outside. Okay, so that's the primary focus. This story is about an aunt with her nephew and niece, and they go on walks to different places and do nature study, or she points out nature study things, or maybe they see something like a spider spinning a web and one of the children asks about it, and so that gives the aunt an opportunity to explain how a spider spins a web and why they spin a web and that sort of thing. All right, so that's how it's set up. So again, you start on Mondays with a story. This is the chapter for today, and this is on mud. That's what the story's about. Okay, so very conversationally written for young children, very short story. That's only 2 pages, and they will vary from week to week. Okay, so then the next day, we're still on lesson 1, but this is day 2. And this day, they're going to draw something specific pertaining to something that you read about in yesterday's story. Okay, the next day, they have an activity here that they're going to actually make something. Okay, so the instructions for that are here. The next day, they're going to draw something again, and this is to find something in our house that you think feels like a worm and draw the object below. Okay, so it's something specific that they're going to draw. They're learning about worms and how they come out of the ground in the mud when it rains. All right, that's what they're learning about this week. The next day, they have a worm to color, because again, they're learning about worms this week in mud. All right, so now we go to lesson 2, and lesson 2 is the following Monday. So that day we have a new story. This story is about leaf buds. And so here we are reading the story on Monday, and that's all we're going to do that day for science, is to read that story. And the rest of the week will be spent doing different activities, drawing, coloring, about different things that we read about in the story that week. Here's a hands-on activity. Here's one about leaves. All right, so And now we have the lesson 3. So that's week 3. We have a new story, and today this week we're going to learn about cocoons. And so there's the story. These are the different activities that you'll do on different days during this particular week. Okay. Lesson 4, that's week 4, that's the story on Monday again. And so here we're learning about calves and critters. All right. So again, they're having a conversation about something that they see outdoors when they're taking a walk. Maybe they're walking to the creek that day. Maybe they're going fishing. Maybe they're going to the post office. It's different every week. It's not like an artificial, let's go out in the yard and find something every single week. It's different places that they're going, and they happen upon something nature related. All right. So that's the story you'll read on Monday. The rest, and this one's a little bit longer, it just depends. Okay, the rest of that week, different activities. After the story portion, each day they have one page that focuses on an activity related to whatever they're going to do that week. Okay, so now we have the next day, the next lesson. Here comes my buddy Trek to help me out here with the video. Okay, so this is week 5. We're having a story about the garden, okay? And so here we are, different activities. Okay, Trek loves watching the flip through videos as well, obviously. He likes to be by my side most of the time. I know you saw Gus in one of my previous videos, but we like our animals here at queenhomeschool.com, and they come in and out of the office all day. Not the chickens, just the dogs. All right, so story 6. Oh, here we go. Yes, Trek, thank you. Trek has some skin allergies we're dealing with. So here we're learning about flowers this day, okay? So again, the whole book continues through like that. Different activities each week, a wide variety of types of lessons, birds, different weeks about different types of things that we'll see. Frogs and toads, and I'm flipping through, there's 180 lessons here, so lots of pages, and I'm flipping through a lot of them quickly here. Trek, you're being gross, please stop. Okay, so here we go, through the entire book. Okay, very quickly. I just wanted to give an overview of the different types of lessons that you're going to see. But just as a quick glance, if you want to try out a week's worth of lessons from this book or any of the books in the Discovering Nature and Science series, feel free to go to the science section on our website at queenhomeschool.com. And from there, you can click on any of the volumes and go to see a sample, and that will bring up a week's sample that you can print out, as well as the scope and sequence of each week's subject and the different lessons that are taught. But that gives you a quick overview of the book Come and See in our Discovering Nature and Science series. So thank you for watching. Again, give me a thumbs up if you made it to the end, and we appreciate you.